Welcome to class, students. Today, we'll be looking at a very important topic titled Official Etiquette, Protocol, and Diplomacy. Importance of office etiquette. We have good interpersonal relationship with fellow staff, good image of the company, good image of individual employee, customer satisfaction. Etiquette helps to be thoughtful about our conduct. It helps us to be aware of the feelings, rights of others by eliminating discourteous behavior and prioritizing other people's feelings. Etiquette promotes kindness, consideration, and humility. It sets a standard for respect, dialogue, and general behavior across an entire organization. Areas of official etiquette. We have in our personal behavior, it can be applied in greetings. Etiquette can be applied in making apology. It can be applied in experiencing thanks and appreciation in our conversation, introduction, shaking of hands, paying compliments, responding to compliments, agreeing and disagreeing, and telephone etiquette. Those are various ways at which etiquette can be applied. Let's look at personal behavior. It is generally felt that if you cannot be trusted not to embarrass yourself in business and social situations, you may lack the self-control that is necessary to be good at what you do. In greeting, it is customary to greet others on entering and acknowledging other greeting, either with smile and a nod or with a formal greeting like good morning according to the occasion. So when we get to a workspace or anywhere we get to, we should have the customary attitude or courtesy of greeting people around you with either a good morning or accepting people's greeting. Good posture can be developed. Good postures are pleasant and can be developed by keeping both feet firmly on the floor, holding the back straight without slouching and not crossing the arms either while standing or sitting. Sneezing or coughing may be unavoidable but can be dealt with discreetly. If you sense a sneeze or a cough or yarn coming on, cover your nose and mouth with a handkerchief in your left hand so as to leave your right hand clean for shaking hands, opening doors. Grooming, such as combing the hair or applying lipstick, should be done in the privacy of restrooms. Applying of fragrance, perfumes of any kind should be sparingly done, avoiding a subtle scent. Strong and or cheap fragrance is often offensive and not appropriate in a professional setting. Greetings. The style of greeting varies from country to country. If in mixed religious company, it may be useful to keep to Western style greeting. When receiving visitors from another country or visiting another country, it is better to find out their style of greeting, both the verbal and non-verbal gesture that accompanies it. Between persons who know each other very well, it is customary to greet with "Hello, how are you?" The response is "Hello, quite well, thanks, and you?" Making an apology. A simple apology is to say sorry or I am sorry. A somewhat more formal style is "Pardon me" or "I beg your pardon." This formal apology is also used if you do not catch or understand what someone says to you or you wish them to repeat what they said. The formal written apology uses the word "I" or "we regret." Requirements and styles of apology vary between cultures. In most Western cultures, an apology is definitely required if you are late and keep someone waiting. The tone of voice and facial expression are important while expressing thanks and appreciation. A simple thanks is quite informal. Thank you is slightly more formal. Thank you, James, sounds very sincere. Thank you, Mr. Modi, or thank you, sir, is formal. In the USA, many people say thank you, I appreciate your help, or thank you, I appreciate it. The tone of voice and facial expression should be appropriate. The written expression is formal. For example, we appreciate your cooperation in, or we thank you for your interest in our project. It is important not to sound patronizing while expressing appreciation. In conversation, speak in a low voice with controlled gestures. Make eye contact with the speaker. Show him you understand his talk by nodding your head, maintaining an appropriate posture, that is an upright posture, and if appropriate, putting in an occasional comment such as I see, that's interesting, or really. The speaker will appreciate your interest and feel that you are really listening. It's not polite to interrupt others. Wait and listen politely till they complete what they are saying, and speak only when you stop. If by mistake you interrupt, stop at once and apologize. Remember that you represent the company and not yourself alone. Divulging company secret or speaking off the record is not acceptable. Politics is a delicate topic, but it is of common interest to most people. It, it need not to be avoided, so as long as no arguments are raised. Using slang terms or swearing in an polite is not polite, even in informal social situations. People who have to swear to make a point are often perceived as less intelligent. Introducing may introducing Introduction may appear simple, but these are few moments in which critical first impressions are made on all sides, and you never get a second chance to make the first impression. Generally, personal impressions are made within 20 to 30 seconds upon meeting someone. The person making the introduction and the two persons being introduced must all be able to do their part well. Create a warm, happy and cordial atmosphere while introducing. Business introductions are based on hierarchy. A person of lesser authority is introduced to a person of greater authority. When introducing people, help the newly acquainted person to start and carry on a smooth, friendly flow of conversation. Comment briefly on the background of each person. A remark on a hobby or interest common to both helps to get a conversation. If no one introduces you, or if the host or hostess of the function is too busy, just introduce yourself to other guests. Ex ten d your hand, smile and say hi, I'm David partner. Avoid saying words like Mr. Melta works for me, it sounds arrogant. Instead say Mr. Melta and I work in the same office. Always use both your name and your surname when introducing yourself. Be clear and concise in your introduction. It is poor manners to narrate your life story or what your problems or illness. At a business function, it is appropriate to say where you work. Take care not to focus too much attention on yourself with grand sounding statements at function that are not strictly business. It's not necessary to give much information since many people feel they are not defined by employment. As a special interest in event like environmental protection work, you can mention your connection to the organization that has organized the event. At a business meeting, always introduce yourself to the people sitting next to you to open the way for conversation. Shaking hands is a formal greeting gesture. Shake your hands when introduced to someone or meeting an acquaintance. The physical connection make when shaking hands with someone can leave a powerful impression. When someone's handshake is unpleasant in any way, we often associate negative character traits with that person. A firm handshake made with a direct eye contact sets the stage of positive encounter. To shake hands properly, keep your thumb up and touch verbs before wrapping the fingers around the other person's hand. Ensure your grip is medium to firm, neither limp and weak nor bone crushing. At a conference or other function where participants use name tag, wear the name tag I name tag eye on the right shoulder, so that okay, wear the name tag eye on the right shoulder so that it is easy to read when shaking. We also have payment of compliment. Compliment may also be can be paid during meeting or after if someone made a very good point or spoke very well or performed well. A compliment should be moderate, not exaggerated, as that is flattery which is ingenuine. A compliment should never be sarcastic. The tone of voice and body language must express the appreciation as much as the words. Sarcasm hurts the receiver and it is not polite. Responding to compliment. When someone pays you a compliment, and acknowledge it and thank the person graciously. A simple thank you with an expression reflecting pleasure on the face is sufficient. Don't feel embarrassed or rebuff the compliment saying, oh, it is nothing, or sorry, I could not do much. Agreeing and disagreeing. Agreeing with someone is easier to express than disagreement, but overdoing it to win goodwill is not sincere. It is sufficient to say cheerfully, I agree, or yes, that seems okay to me, or yes, when it is informal. In a formal situation or when speaking to seniors, formal style is better, or remark such as yes, I accept that, or yes, I think that's alright, would be sufficient. If you are assertive, you can express disagreement without being offensive if you want to disagree. When you disagree, instead of not keeping silent or responding aggressively, try positive assertiveness. Telephone etiquette. Your voice is all you have got to make the telephone conversation lively and effective. Circular articulation and correct pronunciation are necessary. Average speaking word is 150 words a minute. Talking very fast not only affects clarity but may also give the impression of being in hurry. Very slow talker gives the impression of being dull. A high-pitched voice is unpleasant and may appear uncultured, and extremely low pitch can sound mechanical. People who have loud voice appear to be brash and overbearing. Very soft speaker cannot be heard clearly and may seem shy. You need to find the right speed, pitch and volume that make you sound clear and easy to follow. The tone of your voice carries 78% of the load of communication. You may have to make it count. A great deal of your tone depends on the speaker's attitude and state of mind. We also have when making a call. Prepare in advance before making a call and plan all question, comment and comment. Collect all required information, files, papers that may be needed. Have a paper and a pen at hand. Greet as soon as the call is answered. Return the greetings and identify yourself and ask for the person to whom you want to speak. Concentrate, eliminate all distraction and pay attention only to the person you have called. Use simple language, never use slang. Say yes, not yeah. Summarize the main point. You should summarize your main point and end the call politely, or say thank you for giving your time and indicate the next step if required. In taking the calls, answer the call promptly on the first or second ring, not more than three in any case. Lis ten carefully. It is bad manners to interrupt. Get any clarification after the person has paused for a response. Take responsibility to help. Connect to the right person or offer to get the required information. Take down message if necessary. Get all the points correct and check if reading out if it is long or complicated. Check all dates, addresses, figures and spelling of names. If you have to leave the telephone to get some information, ask if the caller would like to hold on or would like you to call back, and be sure to call back with information. Keep your cool and be patient with difficult caller. We also have placing someone on hold. There should be very good reason for placing someone on hold, like putting out the person's file or answering another call. Ask permission before placing the person to hold on do so only after getting the response. Taking permission for granted is very impolite. Leaving a voicemail. While leaving a voicemail, it is important to include your name, your telephone number, and company's name if you are calling on your company's behalf. Spell any unusual name. Repeat your name and telephone number at the end of the message. Anticipate that you may have to leave a message and prepare what you have to say. This will prevent rumbling. This will prevent rumbling as you call. In personal presentation, a formal presentation is a plan event where one or more people speak using virtual aids such as PowerPoint and or handouts, and the purpose is to pass along information that will be useful to the audience. One key aspect in making presentation is that it involves public speaking. Many people rate public speaking as their number one fear, and they are afraid the audience won't accept them. However, this is not true. The audience want the speaker to succeed. They are glad you are the one speaking and not them. All you need to do in order to be successful presenter is to be prepared, confident, and relaxed. Good presentation will calm your nerves and help you avoid making mistakes. Presentation channels will have the face-to-face presentation, individual, group, telephone, email, online presentation, meetings, webinars, and social medias. We can see the different types of presentation. We have the instructional presentation, the informational presentation, the persuasive presentation, educational presentation, moving and inspiration. You can see the examples of presentations here, the statement type. So making the presentation, you have a good knowledge. You need to have a good knowledge of the topic, and the topic have to relate with the audience, and that means the audience have to be interested in the topic, and it's something you should be passionate about so that you can present appropriately. So these are the criteria you need to look in order to choose a topic, and a topic that will relate to the audience, that's something that you are passionate about, and a topic that you have good knowledge about. So a lot of opportunity have passed us by because of poor presentation skills. There are three secrets to making a good presentation. Take the time to prepare properly, rehearse or practice your presentation, get the audience to participate. Yes, it's not only you that will be presenting. Like sometimes you can even tell a story that the audience can relate with and to participate. This will actually make the presentation lively. Good preparation. When you are faced with giving a presentation, you should start by focusing on purpose. Why am I speaking? What do I want to achieve? What should the audience get from the presentation? What are their needs and expectations? What will be their attitude towards my ideas? What do I what do they know? What do they already know? Do they need to hear the presentation in a particular order? So are the questions that you need to ask yourself in order to make good good present good present is about entertaining as well as covering information. It entails being focused, simplicity in the question, simplicity in the presentation, starting strongly. You can also tell relatable stories to get the attention of your audience. Then relax, breathe, and to carry out a formal presentation, you need clarity of your objective. You need to plan the content, prepare your materials. You need to rehearse. They say practice makes perfection. You need to keep reacting, then present. Conducting the presentation, you need to dress well. You need to do not video, speak loudly. You need to look at your audience, maintain eye contact. You can also use yourself as an audio visual. Your voice, you can rehearse at home, your body language, your face, and you need to avoid distraction at all times. Learn to look at your audience, learn to focus at all times. There are some times when you are feeling scared, you need to take a deep breath, relax before you start. Then you must make sure you conclude on an high note. Don't just fade away. Don't apologize to yourself or what you are going to say. Give good introduction. Give audience attention right at the start of the presentation. Use very simple language. Be enthusiastic throughout the presentation. Don't be afraid to summarize before, during, and after. Have a good conclusion. Common complaints about presentation. There are some of the complaints. There are some of the challenges or complaints you get or you hear about during presentation or after presentation. Number one is insufficient or inappropriate examples. Sometimes disorganization. Sometimes you are disorganized. Unanswered question when the presenter is not able to answer all the questions from the audience. Then when the presenter is not well prepared. These are the complaints or challenges you encounter. So now we're looking at the 7 essential communication skills for effective leadership. These are the skills we need to get in order for you to have effective leadership, in order for you to be effective in your workspace. We have the interpersonal communication, leadership storytelling, comprehension and synthesis, communicating concisely. You need to be concise in your communication. Non-verbal communication, you have to have the knowledge of that. Then listening skills, as a leader you need to have good listening skills. Then affirmation skills too is also essential. Thank you very much for listening.